Hey everyone, it's Jessica. I'm back with another video for the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. Today I'm using the Journey kit, and I absolutely love this kit. It is so wonderful, and everything in it is just geared towards like outdoorsy things and adventure and bonfires, and it's just my jam. It's my total jam. So I'm just sorting through the papers. I'm showing you a little bit of what is in this kit. I'm going to pull out a couple of these papers, like this gorgeous wood grain. This kit is very paper heavy by Paper Rose Studio, so these papers do have a little bit different texture to them. They're kind of like shiny. And I am taking this one that has trees on it, and I'm actually going to use my circle cutter by We Are Memory Keepers. I'm going to cut a circle here. I believe I cut a 9-inch circle. I'm just kind of testing this out to make sure this is going to get exactly where I want it to be. I want to make sure I have some of each of the colors, like that blue sky at the top and then the black at the bottom. So I'm just kind of playing around with it at first just to make sure I get every piece that I want. And that's the back side. It's kind of like this orangey pattern paper, and it's really pretty on the back side of that paper as well. I'm going to take this and I'm going to distress the edges of it. But before I do any of that, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife here. I'm actually going to cut out these little trees because I want to pop my photo in behind. I just recently bought this Jeep Wrangler, and I'm just loving having this again. My husband and I used to have a Jeep Wrangler, and I don't know why we ever got rid of it because honestly, we loved it so much. So I got another one. So I just picked this up the other day, and I'm going to use that as my focal point for this layout. And I'm going to distress all of these edges of the circle with my edge distressor by Close to My Heart. I'm going to do the same thing on my photo. You can't really tell too much. I didn't want to scratch up my photo too much. I just wanted to give it like a little bit of light distressing on the edges. And then I'm going to tuck my photo right in behind those trees right there. So first I'm going to go ahead and stick down my circle onto my wood grain paper. I just love that pattern paper. It's just so beautiful, and I wish I would have gotten a ton more of just that paper because I know that I'll use the heck out of that. And then I'm just going to grab some black cardstock here, and this is some textured black I just had in my scrap bin. I'm just going to mat it on that, leaving a small line around the edge of the photo. And I am just going to mat it again using another scrap from this kit in one of the other patterns. This is another one of my favorite papers from this kit. It's just a striped pattern paper, and I just love it. I am a sucker for stripes. So I'm going to tuck that right in there. That's what it's going to look like. I just wanted it kind of peeking behind those trees and give it a nice layering effect. And I'm actually using a scrap lift by Paper Issues, so I will pop that in here. There, you should see it on the top right now. So that is the lift that I'm using for today, which is by Kim Jenkins by Paper Issues, and I am scrap lifting that. She chose some layers in her original layout for her circle, but I am just going with this pattern paper. It has some layers on it, right? So that's what I'm going with. And then my letters that I pulled out, these are the Aria letters by Bella Boulevard, I think, and they're just black, but I didn't have any G's, so what I'm doing here is I'm cutting off the little part at the bottom of a Q and then using another letter to make my little round part for my G. I think I used a question mark for the G or something. So yeah, I just made my own. I like to do that whenever I am short just one letter or I need to use up some of the other ones. So there's my title. It's going to say It's a Jeep Thing, just like all the Jeeps say all the time. But I thought that was a pretty appropriate title since we just got it. And actually the first day that I had it out, literally the first day that I left my house with it by myself, I pulled out of my driveway and got a Jeep Wave, which is just hilarious to me because if you don't know anything about Jeep Wranglers, it's like a whole big community thing. So when you buy a Jeep Wrangler, you buy into that community, and everybody that has a Jeep Wrangler waves to everybody else. So it's just funny, and my husband literally hates it. So I laughed so hard because it was literally like 2 seconds after I pulled out of my driveway that I got a Jeep Wave, and my husband wasn't with me to witness it. So I was laughing so hard. But I am just, I've cut out a few of those little bits from that one pattern paper in this collection. And I cut out just a few of those little things. They kind of look like die cuts. And then one of the other pattern papers has those cute little squares that you can cut apart. So I cut some of those apart too on another layout. So I'm using them on this one. And I cut those cute little trees off of the other pattern paper. It comes with a whole bunch of stuff like that compass and the little camera I cut off of there. And then this kit comes with a pack of little ephemera that has these little word phrases like the travel, the view, explore, just different little cute phrases. So I've used a couple of those on here too. And then that little hardest to climb one is from those little squares that you see laying on my desk right now. I just cut the top off to make it the same shape. So I really like that pattern paper that has all those square cut aparts on it. You can keep them as squares if you want, but I really enjoyed cutting them apart and cutting around each of the items so it looks like it's just kind of like a die cut. So that's what I did with mine. I'm gonna pop up that one with some Thermoweb foam tape, and then I'm gonna add a couple little flare buttons, epoxy flare buttons by Scrap and Happy Studio, and then that little geo tag is by Ellie's Studio. Then I'm just pulling out some of these letters by Simple Stories. I think this is from the Color Vibe collection. I'm gonna make a kind of like a subtitle over here that says For Willin'. And again, I'm cutting apart some things because I wanted a little dash in there, but this collection didn't have little dashes, so I just cut a little piece off of one of my Z's because I really don't use Z's too much. And then this little pin here, I just cut the back off of. That was from a scrap pack that I received from one of my scrappy friends that sent me some leftover things that she wasn't going to use. And it came with those cute little pins, so I've been using them on my layouts and just cutting the pin part off with my wire cutters. And then here I'm just cleaning off my desk, trying to see and find the white space on my desk and find my glass mat again. I actually really struggled with this layout, and I know if my friend Stephanie is watching this, she's going to have a giggle about it because I was actually talking to her about it and she didn't think I ever struggled with layouts, but surprise, I do. So I actually really struggled hard with this one. I left this layout lay on my desk for literally at least a week, and I didn't work on anything for an entire week, and that's really not like me, but we were just so busy this week, just running around doing a lot of different things. So I left it lay, and I kept going back to it each night for a couple minutes and just looking at it and thinking, I don't know what else to do with this. So that's when I added that For Willin' title, and I just started to add more stuff because that's really my motto, is when in doubt, add more. So that's what I did. I added that cute little acrylic arrow from one of our previous kits from Not Just for Boys, and I added some thread here behind my epoxy little flares. So I've added 2 of those on here. That's when I got the idea to pull out that past kit, or a couple past kits actually, because I pulled out those little metal charms as well. So I've used up 2 of those metal charms, and that completed that pack. So I was able to use those up, and that makes me super happy to actually be using my stash. And then I found these cute little gears in my stash by Tim Holtz. I'm going to use those on here. And then for some odd reason, I don't think I got the sequin pack for this kit, which is really odd to me. Maybe Merity and Paula didn't have it out or ready by the time we got our design team kits, because we do get ours a little bit early before they're released. So maybe that's why I didn't get it, but I thought it was odd that I didn't get that, unless this is a big possibility. Maybe I just lost it. I'm not sure. I might have lost it. Maybe it came with it and I put it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it, and then maybe I misplaced it. But you know what? I've got lots of sequins from the shop, so I'm actually going to add sequins on here, but I'm going to add from 2 different mixes, and it pretty much matches the sequin mix for this kit anyway, so it works out fine in the end. Here I'm just finishing gluing down all of my embellishments that I've cut out or made or pulled from other kits or collections, and I glued most of them down with my Nuvo liquid glue, which you can find in the shop, and then some of the other things I have used some glue dots from Thermoweb with. So here I'm just going to pop on sequins all over this layout. I'm going to fast forward that there. So I have all my sequins down now using my Nuvo glue, which dries super clear. I've attached all the gears with that as well because it'll hold really nicely. And I'm just going to add some white splatters with some white Dylusions ink. So I'm just watering that ink down a little bit with my paintbrush and some water, and then just flicking it on with the paintbrush. So that's pretty much going to finish out this layout. If you want to grab this kit from the shop, I will link it below for you if we still have some available. They do go fast, so if you like that kit and it's still available in the shop, make sure you grab it because they literally don't last long, and new kits are released at the very, very end of the month or very first of the month. So here is the finished layout. I really enjoyed making this one, even though it was a struggle in the beginning, but it turned out okay. I did some machine stitching around that circle too. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that's the finished result, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching today, and feel free to stop back for more and hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.